Alright. Yo, YouTube blocked my first video because of copyright music, so here's an acapella and enjoy.
And you don't feel no way. You think I deserve it. Bum 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 bum.
Bro, I'm really about to get your pickle chin that boy. Hey, go that collard green head that boy. Oh, head on boy, your dirt that boy, stink ass boy, afro head that, lip gloss chin that boy, ugly that boy, ugly.
I do not have an intro. That was terrible. Now, before we start this video, I just want to let you know that as much as I have not been posting, I have a second channel. The link will be in the description below. I'll just keep it real quick and short, but I mean, the last few months, to be honest, from the beginning of this year, I've honestly been trying to figure out where this channel is going, just because this whole time I never really knew what lane I wanted to make videos in. So I just spent really the last few months or year really just figuring out and trying new things out, seeing what sticks, seeing what doesn't work. And basically I recently, made a new channel into what I actually like, making content about. I mean, with this channel, I don't want to just let it go. So I'll still be vlogging, still be just posting videos, to entertain all you guys, the 50 of you. But, all 50 of you subscribed for a reason. And I'd love to still post the same stuff I do post, that I do post for fun. So I'll still be doing that. And yeah, and before we start, if you're into any faith-based music or anything like that, my other channel is basically a Christian rap channel. So if you're into any of that, I'm doing album reviews, I'm doing commentary, and I'm just more tapping into more of that, more just faith-based stuff. Yeah, subscribe if you're interested. And yeah. All right, so the first thing is isolation. And with the pandemic going on, this is 9th, 10th month now, 11th month, I don't even know. It's been pretty challenging. I mean, a lot of the summer activities that usually go to indoor activities, I mean, nothing's open right now. The province just went into lockdown, so it's just it's been tough overall. I mean, me personally, from my experience, I consider myself a busy person. So usually when I'm not busy, to not be able to do anything, it sucks, I'm not gonna lie. Throughout all that, especially that we're about to go into a lockdown, I don't know, I just feel like we can learn to figure out ways to just not be isolated, reaching out to people. I find friends have been hitting me up, I've been hitting up people, and I just find mentally, it's just the best way to just keep in touch, just finding new things to do. Literally, I really have no idea what I'm gonna do, but if it's literally taking a walk, doing stuff like that, if that helps me, or just I do a bit of photography, so finding spots to just chill and take photos or video montages, if that's a way to go, then I'm probably gonna be doing that. But I definitely feel like it's taught us that to just find other ways to just keep in touch with people and just not be doing stuff by yourself. And yeah. All right, now the second thing is meeting people halfway. I think if 2020's taught anyone this, it's that you should honestly meet people halfway with anything, especially with this year. I mean, this year has been probably the most divisive year I've seen from quite a while. I mean, everything from the US elections and people arguing over which party is the better party. It's people arguing about, vaccines, people arguing about just the issue of police brutality in the US and just racism in general. I think it's taught me that at the end of the day, if you honestly disagree about a certain issue with someone, you honestly should learn to just meet people halfway, because at the end of the day, you can't convince 99% of whoever you're trying to reach. You can't convince that. You can't just win over anyone. You got to understand not just where they're coming from, but why they're coming from that place. So you got to understand, because usually people who are opposed to a certain view that you strongly agree with, that's usually because they're picking up pieces or certain pieces of information that are actually true, but they're also using facts and info that outweigh what the other person's saying. And as well, you're using info that probably represents their worldview and it's factually correct. They can't prove it wrong. I think once you know how to prove them wrong, then you can move forward. But you should learn to do it in a healthy way, just because I find stuff like politics and I mean just racism and just religion and just a lot of stuff in general like that. I find it just gets too toxic. I find like we could have a lot more of these conversations in a healthier way if you just like understand where they're coming from. You're not trying to like get offended right away. I think it just opens up to more dialogue and actual like understanding instead of just trying to personally attack them. But yeah. All right. Now the third thing on the list is accepting failure, and this is probably a big one, especially with me, just because I mean at the beginning of the year, especially if you're like ambition driven and you're goal driven and all that, I'm pretty sure like me, you probably had goals that you were going for at the top of the year, but now that we're here, your goals either they're on delay, they're either folded or they just got messed up, or you're still going for your goal but it might have been a bit more difficult. But either way, I just feel like with accepting failure, at some point you're just gonna have to accept that you're gonna fail at some parts. Success isn't just with, you know what I mean, you can't just have success without your failure. So sometimes I feel like you just gotta slow down, stop, take a second to see where you're at before you keep pushing. And I think part of accepting failure is also accepting death, especially this year for a lot of people. You know, a lot of people I know have lost loved ones, whether if it was to the virus or just to some other tragic circumstance. I just feel like at the end of the day, if you're gonna press on, if you're gonna get to where you want to get to, or if you're just gonna get to the next day, you gotta accept that you're gonna fail. But you know, you gotta realize too that it's not the end of the world and that there's a lot more out there. I mean, it's just 1 year. Who knows how the next year will be, but I mean, you just gotta keep pushing. So, all right, now the fourth thing I'd say we could learn from this year is that we can learn to just reset. I find now, me personally, like I'm not into. Now I know I said in the previous point that like I'm like ambition driven and goal driven and all that, but me personally, I just find it weird when people want to set goals just because it's the new year and they're letting a year dictate how they're gonna succeed. But I don't know, I just found that when usually at this time of the year, when the holidays are around the corner, if you're in school, you don't have school. If you have work, you're most likely on vacation. And for a lot of people, it's just a time to just reset anyways. So, I mean, I think the year's just taught that really the end of the year is definitely a good time to just reset because you're not usually in a routine or schedule. And I mean, it's just the best time to look at where you're at now, what the next year's gonna bring. And I mean, to just figure things out really. But yeah. And then I think the last thing that 2020's taught us is honestly just be yourself no matter what happens, no matter what downfall you have. I mean, from my experience, honestly, especially with putting out videos on this channel, I just found that success is truly not an overnight thing. Some people that hear that usually understand it, but they don't actually go through it to realize that. And I mean, for me, kind of putting up videos on this channel to see what I wanted to do, and some things working out, some things not working out, and kind of like now seeing where I want to go with this. You honestly got to be yourself, especially in a day and age like social media where you go on Instagram and people are posting nothing but their successes and little of their failures or things they struggle with. So honestly, I think the year, especially in the year where people are kind of just going through their personal demons and just personal problems, if you're going to be yourself, it's a lot better than just living for other people or just trying to impress other people. And, you know, not just with social media, but just with the society in general, whether it's trying to impress other people, impress your parents, trying to succeed for them. I just find you're a lot better off just doing it for yourself. But yeah. And yeah, guys, that's really the end of the video. Thanks for watching. Shout out to the people, you know, that hit me up in the last few months, especially about my channel, just because some of you actually like my videos, which I'm kind of surprised at. And it's always great to hear that. So yeah, I definitely don't plan on scrapping this channel at all. I definitely want to keep this channel alive. So I'll definitely be posting stuff here, you know, to entertain, you know, you guys, the 50, but you know, all 50 of you guys. So I definitely thank you for that. And I mean, yeah, man, it's been a rough journey for all of us, but hopefully we can get through it. And yeah, so thanks for watching, guys. And don't forget as well, I have my other channel in the description below. And yeah.